Hi, Dr. Rudy Kachmann. Welcome to our Kachmann Wellness Show. This is specifically of preventing, stopping, reversing type 2 diabetes. Critical show. 1 out of 2 people in this country, especially in Fort Wayne, which is more affected than a lot of counties and states, preventing type 2 diabetes, which causes about 50 illnesses. Major cause of dementia, for example, so-called Alzheimer's disease, is largely related to being a type 2 diabetic. Yeah, a woman from Yale University 3 years ago wrote a scientific paper that we have in our body an enzyme, IDE, insulin-degrading enzyme, and that is responsible for degrading insulin, which is elevated in all pre-diabetics and diabetics. Yeah. Matter of fact, when they run screening tests, they should be checking you for serum insulins, not just blood sugar, because the insulin level may be elevated long before the blood sugar, maybe 10, 15 years. So we could get rid of the pre-diabetes or diabetes. Why? Because the 50 diseases can occur in pre-diabetes. Yeah. The information, frankly, is not out there. So I've been running this show for a half hour on public access TV, probably for 2 or 3 years now. And I will continue till our state government or federal government decides to really embrace this and to try to prevent illnesses. Because once they diagnose you with diabetes, you're way into it, 10, 15 years into it. And what's occurring in your body, you just didn't see it. You already had vascular disease going on, and hopefully in the meanwhile you hadn't died from cancer, had a stroke or an unannounced heart attack. 50% of the people get a heart attack, no symptoms, no warning. They grab their chest and they're dead. That can occur in pre-diabetes. So that's the reason for this. So let's go on this path. I get this, and it's not hard. What I'm saying today is you could get rid of type 2 diabetes 30 days or less. Why am I so confident in saying that? But look at this book, The 30-Day Diabetes Miracle by Franklin House, written many years ago, over 10 years ago. I happened to read it. Never met a provider ever read that darn book. It's excellent. What he's saying is 30 days, you can get rid of type 2 diabetes. Come to find out, it's a lot quicker than that. Mark Hyman would say you could be way on the path within a week. Why? If you're eating the right food and retraining your biome. My show on the biome, I just finished doing it. It'll be on 6 o'clock, public access 57, and eventually on YouTube in 2 weeks. It's a lot quicker than that because you change. You are what your bacteria, your biome is eating, and you start eating right. It'll probably change within a week because those bacteria in the epithelium that runs your gut changes. The bacteria every 20 minutes, the gut every 24 hours. So you can retrain your gut very quickly. Just confirming what we've been saying for years. Many books support me with scientific literature, but the big push has not been to attack this epidemic, which is a mistake. So how could you tell that you might have this? For example, I think probably blood testing would lead the way. And I have it all summarized because including providers don't seem to want to read books. I know, because I give them away, and they're not reading them. Some people do. One page. And you get a copy of this if you attend my lectures at Lutheran Hospital once a month. You can go Facebook Kachmann, it's on there. At the Three Rivers Pharmacy, which Sheila Walker owns, by Concordia High there, Three Rivers Pharmacy. You can pick them up for free from Sheila there. Well, I'll coach people too who get type 2 diabetes. Want to get rid of it? Come see me at the pharmacy. It's free. It's free. I'll send you on the path in more detail. See you once a month till you're rid of it. Can you beat that offer? Is there any offer of something in this world any better than that? For free, I will coach you once a month till you're rid of it, and then maybe follow you even after that. I mean, really? But anyway, here's With this sheet will tell you about proper blood testing. And there's some interesting stories behind that. So the 30-day miracle by Franklin House, which I already told you, clearly has the science behind it. Then another good story is Goodbye Diabetes by Wes Youngberg. Okay, I met him at Hilton Head at a hotel while I was staying, while visiting my daughter in Hilton Head. Our house was full, and I think this guy up there made sure that I met him. He has taught. He was in the island of Guam for 15 years, teaching a population of people. That island had been bombed by the Japanese, destroying farming. And those natives used to eat nothing but organic farming stuff and the fish from the ocean. They look like movie stars. Beautiful, all of them. I've seen pictures of them. Because they couldn't grow their own food, they brought in American food and Spam. Within 5 years or so, 95% of the people were like this and had diabetes. I have no idea why anybody didn't wake up, but he was sent there through the Almond Society, 15 years, and he developed and returned the people largely to health. And he developed a system of blood testing, which I'll review here in a minute, which also is used by Kaiser Permanente in California now as their regular way of testing, and I congratulate them for doing that. I've been trying to do that in this area. I have not gotten very far, but I sure got it on TV. I'm handing out these things for free. And what he is saying, and he lists on there, strictly blood testing. Not glucose tolerance tests, which I recommend too, but this is an excellent way. For example, if fasting you between 85 and 94, he calls it stage 1 high blood sugar. Now, if you go with the average provider around here, they wouldn't make much of it. They say it's slightly elevated, leave it at that. That's the opportunity to knock off 5-10 pounds. Diabetes gone. Goodbye. Avoid 55 diseases. If you have type 2 diabetes, you probably will die 25 years younger, and maybe have 30 years of disability, dislocated joint, walking on your ankles, diabetic neuropathy, maybe you're going blind, unannounced heart attack. Remember I said 50% of heart attacks are no symptoms. You grab your chest and you're dead. 50% of heart attacks that way. It's true. More common in women than men, actually. Then he says 95 to 99, stage 2 high blood sugar, 100 to 109, he says pre-diabetes. Generally, it's accepted 100 to 126 as pre-diabetes. 110 to 125, he said advanced pre-diabetes. 126, you get diabetes, okay? And then you can actually give yourself a glucose tolerance test. You eat about 400 grams of sugary products, donuts, whatever, and go to the pharmacy and get a blood testing and check yourself. What's your blood sugar? An hour, 2 hours later, and he puts in there what those figures should be. Another one that has an excellent way of testing is by Mark Hyman, Blood Sugar Solutions, Eat Fat, Be Thin. That's Mark Hyman. And I like his, he says the 6 stages of insulin resistance or diabetes, the road to diabetes, which I think is excellent. Where they will check your blood sugar, but also get a serum insulin, because the serum insulin is elevated before the blood sugar. Yeah, but these are the receptors on your cells, okay, which Kenneth Perk discovered those receptors, and you get a blood sugar may be normal, but the serum insulin is elevated because there's fat on these receptors, and the insulin is trying to push the sugar in the cells for energy, and it takes more insulin all the time. The pancreas secreting it, and then eventually one day the pancreas is dead, can't do it no more, and then the blood sugar goes sky high, and then they tell you, you got diabetes. Well, we want to catch you before that. You get advanced diabetes, okay? So to run glucose tolerance tests is what he recommends, and to learn that in more detail, we don't have enough time to go through every detail of it. But on the back of this page thing, I have the complications of diabetes which can be avoided. Okay, where he spoke about dementia. Most of Alzheimer's disease, that's some rare genetic thing that Eli Lilly is doing research for. No, it's type 2 diabetes, which you can get rid of. And simply, because cataracts, retinal hemorrhages, dental disease, blindness, thyroid disease, strokes, liver disease, heart attacks, renal disease. So to get some kidney tests, a BUN, protein, for different renal screening tests, important too. I myself, I don't think it's been well studied that people out there who happen to be in stage 1, stage 2 diabetes, I wonder if it's still not reversible. There comes a stage where you can't reverse kidney disease, stage 3 and 4, maybe not. It's not been well studied, because I talked to one of the owners of this big renal dialysis centers throughout the country. He had very little knowledge of stage 1 type diabetes, its reversibility. That's kind of shameful, because they should have run the study and find out if it is. You're eating right, you can get rid of it. And I've taken a patient with stage 2 and reversed him myself, but that's not a study, that's anecdotes. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that's an answer, but so to get some renal screening tests, it's good. I mean, let's look at our president, for example. When he was running the primaries, he said his blood sugar was 99, he weighed 230. So what do you say here? He's stage 2 high blood sugar. Okay. So now he weighs a little more, and we can't rely on the doctor that's been reporting it, because I think he was even fired for other reasons. So is our president pre-diabetic? Makes me wonder. It is weight related, not to everyone. Some people are thin, and their blood work is at normal though. The trophy is thin on the outside, but they have fat on the liver. So just because you're thin doesn't mean you don't have diabetes. 25% of the people have what's called metabolic syndrome. That's another way of screening. Let me discuss that with you a little bit. Metabolic syndrome, it consists of the following things. Belly measurement. Belly measurement is better than a blood test. You get a pot belly, you're probably pre-diabetic. Prove it with blood tests. Very high chance, because the fat's not under your skin, is in your organs, it's in your viscera, it's in the liver, it's in your omentum, and it causes inflammation. You're more likely to have type 2 diabetes. So belly measurement is critical. If your belly is bigger than your hips for a woman, usually it means you're pre-diabetic, diabetic. In a man, the chest's got to be bigger than the belly. The belly's bigger than the chest measurement. It's the same. And they'll have ratios, and you can look that up on the internet. So belly measurement, if it jiggles, man, make sure you don't have diabetes. Many people have no idea. They go to the doctor, you get a blood sugar. You don't have diabetes, but you weigh 220. Baloney, baloney, baloney. They need a glucose tolerance test, or follow West Youngberg's elevated sugars. But let's talk about metabolic syndrome a little bit. So we get the belly measured. If you have high blood pressure, okay, elevated triglycerides. Remember, it's the fats that line these receptors. That's triglycerides. Sugar, if you're eating a lot of sugar, sugar is the booger and the hooker, incidentally. That'll be on these receptors. Elevated triglycerides are bad. And then we have the heavenly cholesterol, the HDL, that's a good cholesterol. So I like to see a triglyceride HDL ratio, okay? A ratio of those two. So if you're very high triglycerides, it should be 75. Yeah, some would accept 100. That's a good one. Your HDL level, hypertension is another one, and get a fat profile just to see and keep a track of it over the years. Is it changing? Your VLDL, but your big LDL, that fluffy little ball going through your arteries, actually it's not the problem. It's the very low density LDL, the dense one, more than 1,000 particles, and the number bigger than 500. That's more consistent with diabetes, okay? And at the crosshairs of all those, if you have 2 or 3 of those, you're pre-diabetic. You have insulin resistance. Insulin can't get the sugar into there, and eventually the pancreas who makes insulin gets sick and tired of it and dies, and then now you're type 1 diabetic. You were type 2. Type 1, you don't have any insulin, okay? Children are more likely to get it. Sometimes it's a virus killed the bacteria. Sometimes it's because they ate a lot of gluten or drank a lot of milk. Yeah, milk can cause type 1 diabetes. Pediatricians a lot of times don't know that, but it's in the literature. It's in the literature, okay? Read a book called Whitewash by Joe Keon. The science is in there. Believe me, but that's a great book to read. So pick up the sheet here. In Wes Youngberg's book, Goodbye Diabetes, the guy on the island there, remember? I think that's an excellent book to read. I wrote a book on it too, The Secret of Reversing Type 2 Diabetes. Is a book that I wrote many years ago. Because I had read, I think, The 30-Day Miracle of Franklin House. And I'd like you to participate in your health care a little bit. And then End of Diabetes by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. I mean, I come with a lot of science here, a lot of science. And many more books, too. I'm just giving you a few. End of Diabetes, Dr. Fuhrman, who's a friend of mine. And what we're saying is not hard. If you eat the right way, vegetables, fruit, maybe 3 days a week, a little bit of meat, take a walk a day, take up tap dancing like I do, something, exercise a little bit. Exercise 20% of it. The rest is that type of food, because you're educating your biome. You are what your biome is. Mm-hmm. And what those bacteria who run the biome, yeah. Our bodies are run by trillions of bacteria. Mm-hmm. They determine your health. If you're taking a lot of antibiotics and you kill them, then you get the wrong bacteria. You're much more likely to get a bowel disease or even type 2 diabetes. Dr. Fuhrman's book is excellent. He's a friend of mine. He was in town here maybe a month ago. The day of his lecture, I played him tennis for 2 hours and ended up being in a tie. A couple of years ago, I played him and he lost. And he came to town just to play me, I think. But he gave a great talk at the First Assembly Church. And I put him back on the plane. A wonderful man to follow all his books. Joe Fuhrman, End of Diabetes, End of Cancer. I mean, these are wonderful books. I was so excited about sugar being the cause, I wrote a book called The New Slavery, Prevent, Stop, Reverse Sugar Addiction. We're addicted to the stuff. We're addicted to the darn stuff. Is what it makes us feel good. The brain organized as in the quick fix, the dopamine fix, cigarettes, alcohol, gambling, internet, walking in nature like I do, relieves it. That's healthy. But everybody's using something different, a quick drink or a quick cigarette. So maybe now the state is pushing marijuana products. And that can do it. Find other ways to make yourself feel good. It shouldn't be sugar. It's a booger and a hooker. I gave a lecture at Trine University recently, and 3 girls in the back stood up who must have listened to my lecture the year before. We know, Dr. Kachmann, sugar is a booger and a hooker, and we all had a nice laugh. But you know, that whole lecture I gave the year before, it's probably the only thing they remembered. And now I've taken those spoken words and converted them a little bit to poetry and music. It's about learning. You know, we have to learn. A real quick way to get rid of diabetes, because some people don't like to read, okay, including providers. I've had a lot of books. Odds of them reading the book I gave them, 10% at best. Because I asked them, meet me for lunch, we'll discuss it. Don't have to agree with me, yes, I know what you think. That's my experience. This book by Dr. Fuhrman, Eat to Live, Quick and Easy Cookbook by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. I tell you what I like about it. What I like about it is that he has in there a little explanation, okay? But then there's pictures of smoothies, of salads, of meals, and you can turn to any page and it's healthy. If you were to use this cookbook for a month, 90% chance you don't have diabetes. Is that worthwhile? I think that's kind of worthwhile. Avoid 50 diseases, live 20 years longer, avoid all these disabilities. But I'll be honest with you, many people are blind to it. I know of 6 multimillionaires that run businesses in Fort Wayne. I think, I'm not the doctor, okay, but I know enough. I can see, and I've seen them eat, okay. They eat out a lot because they have to with their work, but they're so caught up in their work. I don't know the reason. Don't have good health habits. And they affect our community so much. So I beg them to get some coaching. You get some coaching. Get rid of it, and don't go to a provider who just hands you, here's your script. See you in a year. See you in 3 months. We'll adjust your insulin level. Fine. Fine. Be on the medication. Don't just stop it. But the provider should push you into get rid of this disease, which can be done in less than 30 days. Mark Hyman would say, in a week. I beg you to act on it. Eating out twice a week is deadly. It's deadly. And let's look at this one. Kale and red cabbage salad. Dr. Furman's book. See, nice picture, how to make it. You use this. I really push this book because I try to make it as simple as possible. No diet, because if you're eating food full of vitamins and minerals, phytochemicals, they will turn your appetite off. And if you need a snack, he even's got that in there. He himself eats nuts. I do some nuts too if you're not allergic, okay? And because they have good carbohydrates in them, get fiber in them, get protein in them, and it's a good snack. Matter of fact, I can't believe it. He eats 2 ounces a day. I didn't say that to do that. An ounce a day, less. All of a sudden you feel hungry in a car. I eat 5 nuts. I'm not hungry anymore. That's a good way to look at it. And you got to be concerned about your own allergies. And here's another one: easy split pea soup. I mean, these are great recipes. I'm trying to make it very, very simple for you, and I want you to get it in your mind that you can get rid of this disease. Now, if you need personal coaching, look me up at the Three Rivers Pharmacy by Concordia High there, 373-1073. I see people for nothing. Nobody charges anything. The lady that owns it, Sheila Walker, I think she dropped out of heaven myself because she attends my lectures, and we pick a number and people get a free smoothie machine. Yeah. Every time I have it, next Tuesday I have it again, and we'll be as you walk in, you get a number, and we have a number of people who got that and get rid of their diabetes. They attend my lectures today. I've had people go from 350 pounds down to 210, one truck driver. Mm-hmm. Coming through town at Planet Fitness, I talked to him 30 minutes after he took a shower. There's a doc on the stand, you coach people. Yeah, so I coached him for free. And I saw him a year later, 1.5 hour lecture. He looked like a movie star because there is Fibonacci numbers, biomathematics in nature. You eat nature, you look like nature. If you look at my PowerPoints at some of my lectures, I have a number of people there that have the proof that I can't believe their transformation of their body because by eating the correct food, they change the biome. The biome, where is that? The show I just did, I filmed just before this one. I'd like you to look at that biome lecture. It's on 6 o'clock Wednesday, public access. And then if you don't have access TV, then it will be on YouTube probably in 2 or 3 weeks. And you can go to Facebook, Kachmann, Live to be 100. It'll be on there. And review. And other shows. I've got probably 500 shows on there. You can review about other health things that might interest you. So to review a little bit, type 1 diabetes and type 2, what's the difference? It can be confusing. Type 1, like I said, is seen more commonly in children, but now it's more common in adults because the insulin level is elevated, and after a while the pancreas wears out, and then you get type 1 too. Now you got to take insulin. Let's talk about insulin a minute. Insulin is anabolic. It makes you gain weight. Insulin's job is to bring sugar into the cell for energy, but there's a lot of other things too. You have a lot of insulin in your body, increased rates of cancer. It makes the arteries stiff. It affects filtration in your kidneys, but the biggest thing is It's anabolic. It makes you gain weight. Your appetite will increase. So a lot of people on medication, you know, they take, oh, my diabetes. I know someone actually whose brother died from diabetes, and he has the knowledge. His girlfriend is even diabetic educator, but what they're doing is maintaining their disease. Here's your pill. No one's driving home that you get rid of the disease. Last time I had dinner with him, he was even showing off this monitor he has here that tells him his blood sugar right away after what he eats. That's fine. I said, that's fine. But the main emphasis I want you to, and he seems to not get it straight. You could get rid of it. His focus is not that, though. So anyway, I think I've kind of given you quite a bit of information here. And like I said, every week we have this show. Do some reading. You must participate in your health care. Maybe see me at the pharmacy for free. Sheila Walker runs it. We'll love you. I mean, this is the way she's talking. She is sort of an alternative pharmacy. Sells a lot of things much cheaper, but she attends all my lectures. I mean, I just think Sheila gets it. That's her life's mission, her life's work. She's willing to while selling a little medication. She's also teaching how to get rid of the things she's treating. Wow, that's a person, you know, with a heart, and always smiling, always happy. Thank you, Sheila. And I think you dropped out of the clouds on me. But although she says I dropped out of the clouds at her. It's true story. When you meet, if you had a bad day, go see her because you'll be laughing. And so pick up this testing sheet, maybe do some reading, and join our conversation. You need more information, you can see me there for free, Fridays, almost every Friday. I'm there. You get a call though to make an appointment or drop in, make an appointment. And why am I doing this? I don't get paid for any of this because I'm a doctor. That means teacher. It's my mission to make you better. So participate with us. Help a neighbor, help a friend, help a relative. Everybody in most families, almost everybody has someone who is type 2 diabetes, which I do have family members on the other side that we can try to help. Okay, and we love you. Thanks for watching the show. We'll do this again next month. Okay. You have a great day.
The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily represent those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting group. Access Fort Wayne is a department of the Allen County Public Library. If you or anyone you know might be interested in making a television show, please call 260-421-12.